Okay. Now I just have to get started. I wonder what to do. Everything's in working order. So let me switch my, and there we go. Awesome sauce. Okay. Just waiting a bit more and awesome. So, My Vow to My Liege. I was super interested because I haven't played a Chinese Otome game, basically. I have played Korean ones and Japanese, obviously, but never a Chinese one, so this is gonna be interesting. And plus, I usually don't play computer games anyway, in general. Operational glide, right click to bring up the menu. Okay, simple enough. If you're using Windows, you can drag the screen to adjust the size. Skip unread text is turned off by default to skip the text in the replay section of the extras. Please enable the skip unread text option in the configuration menu. For a better gaming experience and to protect the rights of the players who have purchased the game, please restrict all live videos, walkthroughs, and videos and screenshots to only the prologue and the first 4 chapters of the game. Okay. Clickety click. Do you solemnly swear to the above, to the terms written above? Did I do something wrong? Okay. In a time of myths and legends, under the mandate of heaven, King Wu overthrew the corrupt King Yu and started the Zhao dynasty of peace and prosperity. The good king secretly created the gold script to communicate with the gods and demons. He took a sacred vow with the heavens in exchange for the divine right to rule. His government would be one with virtue. Using the golden script, he carved this vow onto a large bronze vessel, the Ding of Virtue. The vow and the ding were passed down through generation of kings until it came into the hands of the corrupt King Ping, who broke the vow and lost the ding. The secret existence of the golden script then came to light, and the peace and prosperity of the Zhao dynasty started to wane as the lands broke into a smaller warring states. A time of chaos and turmoil had returned as countries prepared for yet another war. So, nickname is All You and name Ji Tengyu. I mean, Should I just stick with the name? I guess I should, right? Chi Tengyu. I mean, I usually don't like changing the name. Maybe I should. I am not good at making decisions. Indecisiveness. Might as well just stick with it. In a time of legends and a land of wars, the destiny of a great kingdom falls on the shoulders of a young girl. She is fated to ascend the throne of Ing? Her name Fuchai. Oh, that's loud. For me, at least. Oh my. Did it stop listening to the desktop audio? I can't tell if it worked or not. The video's good though. I can't tell if the audio's working. I bet it's on mute too. Oh man, I hope it's not, but it probably is. Here, let me just remove. Okay. There we go. Let me just add it and see. Okay. I think I should have done it at least. Yeah, okay. The darkening skies that foretell the coming of impending rain feel suffocating. An island shrouded in mist stands in the middle of Lake Tai. At the heart of this island, on an altar, stand two banners with faded gold lilies. Around them stand a group of motionless priestesses on ground that has been tainted red with blood. Oh, they're really pretty. Before a large rectangular bronze ding, the head priest and head priestess lead a liturgical procession headed by my royal father, Helu, and all members of his household, including my brothers and everyone here is well aware that this autumn's offering ceremony is anything but usual. We will soon be executing the dragon god that our country has worshipped for generations. Fuchai, my third brother, who is standing next to me, keeps shivering with fear, even though he's a year older than me. His lack of courage is alarming. I clench the jade fish amulet that Yi lent to me for protection as I steel myself. Shi Yi Guang, the son of the head priest and priestess, is currently east of Lake Tai on Tiger Hill, tending to the magical array that is set up there to seal the god. If we fail to execute the dragon god here, we will be able to seal him on Tiger Hill. The Shi family does indeed live up to their reputation for being the most formidable priests and priestesses in the kingdom. I'm pretty sure that's how you would say it. My father, the king, takes the incense from the head priest and bows reverently to the sacred ding. Even though we are far away from Tiger Hill, we can see the smoke rising from its fiery beacon, a sign that Yi Guang is ready to seal off the god. There is no way for my father to withdraw from this battle.
龙神只能辅助，今日一事，关乎吴国社稷，寡人不能败。
A sense of resolution can be seen on my father's expression. I take a deep breath only to have my senses assaulted by the stench of rotten fish, which makes it hard to breathe. Gotta say though, all of the character art's really nice. The putrid soil, withered reeds, and the smell of blood. Pull yourself together, Tengyu. You are after all the royal princes of I quietly tell myself. I'm pretty sure I'm pronouncing that wrong. Ng. Although Yi Guang and I are both 14 years old, he is already shouldering so many responsibilities while I still have so much room to improve. The autumn offering ritual is beginning. Gotta say, the priest and priestess are very pretty. I keep on saying that, but they are. The priestesses start their ritual chants. Like the smoke from a burning incense, the sound of their chanting drifts away on the wind towards the lake. The head priest and priestess start dancing to the chants, their long sleeve trailing gracefully behind them, like the wings of a white crane taking flight, or the fins of a fish in water. This is my first time seeing the sacred transcending fish dance. I'm entranced. Fu Chai gently tugs at my sleeve to make me realize that our two older brothers have already walked forward, reached into the ding, and are now placing something onto their lips. It's blood. Staring at the red viscous liquid in the bronze ding, I feel a sense of dreaded apprehension in the pit of my stomach. I quickly touch some of the blood to my lips. That strange greasy feeling still lingers on my fingertips. We summon the power of heaven to slay the dragon god, to be a shining example of virtue to all mortals, and to break. Oh, I can't finish. Together with the crowd, I start to chant the words of our vow with a troubled heart. Slaying a god, what an insane notion. As we chant, bits of golden light float out of my father's body to merge with a golden beam of light that is emitting from the center of the bronze ding. Looking at myself and my three older brothers, it seems that we are in the same transcendental state as our father. As the head priest and priestess dance, the banners start to flutter in the wind. The golden beam pierces the dark clouds, breaking them apart to reveal a clear, bright autumn sky. A black arrow flies through the sky and lands at my father's feet. Over 100 black-robed priests surrounded the altar. The one who appears to be leading them is the previous head priest, Mei Jian. Didn't he defect to another country many years ago?
无耻何驴！竟敢背叛历代巫王和龙神结下的神盟！
Oof, he is not happy.
既无成仁德通天道，岂可再屈从此等鬼神妖物？
Without any hesitation, my father drew out his sword. At the altar, the black and white figures intertwine in the chaos to create a third color, red. One by one, young priestesses start falling to the men in the black robes, their beautiful faces and supple bodies breaking to pieces of meat. Well, that's one way to describe it. As blood flows like water into the lake, I can hear rumbling sounds coming from all four corners of the lake, like that of a monster leaping out of the water. Oof. Oh crap. This is the first time that I have ever laid eyes on the dragon god. This gigantic white creature is beautiful yet terrifying. Oh, it's white. I stand motionlessly, unable to take my gaze off the creature. As I stand before this absolute power, I feel so insignificant, it feels like an offense. I'm caught off guard when the head priestesses pull me away and into the bosoms of my older brothers before calling forth their magical swords of water. They miss me by the skin of my teeth as they fly towards the dragon god and pierce him. Mei Jian shoots us a malicious glare.
今日就让你们见识见识真正的神威。
Okay, that doesn't sound good. Oh, no. Isn't that Tiang's dad? He gives a long whistle, summoning tall columns of muddy water from the lake. In an instant, they rush at the head priest and my brothers and all who are there to safeguard us. Okay. Dang. My father gives a roar of anguish that resounds in all directions as the phrase, "We failed to kill the dragon god," shrills repeatedly in my ears.
阖闾，你的子嗣巨王，你死之前就好好品味品味这等绝望的滋味吧。
Okay, he really does not like us. The dead bodies of my brothers are suspended by columns of brackish water. A severed pinky lands at my feet. Which of my brothers did this belong to? I cannot endure it anymore and throw up on the ground. Trying hard to contain her grief, the head priestess calls forth an ice blade that pierces through the sacred ding. In my state of semi-consciousness, I hear her call out.
请领魂，为我令，转阵为锋。
I really like her voice. It's kind of sad she didn't really talk that much. A bright white light emits out from the belly of the ding and transforms into a large, ferocious tiger. It pins down the head of the dragon inside the vessel and it shatters it into tiny pieces. The terrifying dragon, like a dying fish, lies on the altar, twitching weakly and helplessly. Its colossal body quickly disintegrates, giving off the strong stink of rotten fish.
神君！
Like, I don't know, bro. I don't trust you. Oh, damn. Dang. Oh my gosh. All of a sudden, Mei Jian fiercely stabs a short blade into the back of the head priestess, and with that, the white tiger suddenly disappears. I stare mindlessly at the sacred thing as it gives off its last bit of golden light before absorbing the body of the dragon inside of it. Mei Jian, like a madman, pounces towards it. From behind Mei Jian, my father cuts his head off cleanly with a blow of his sword. Before my eyes, fresh red blood trails from the severed head as it lets out a hideous laugh. Okay, no.
背叛者的血脉必将众叛亲离，今日之恨必将千百倍还至你身。国破家亡，灰飞烟灭。
Saying this, Mei Jian's head explodes. Droplets of his blood turn to blades as they fly at me. My mind goes blank. The blades of blood fall short, less than a few inches away, as I unconsciously clutch the amulet with only one name on my lips. Ye Guang. Already chapter 1.
快跟。
啊。Chen Feng, is that you?
少君，您刚刚一直在呓语。
My chest. The sacred seal that is on my chest is hurting terribly. It hurts to the point that I can't even cry out. With trembling hands, I search for the thing that I need so desperately. Where is it? Where could it be?
少君，鱼在这里。
Phew. I press the amulet to my chest as its icy coldness slowly eases the pain until it completely fades away. The pain is now replaced by a feeling of intense abhorrence. This vile sacred seal on my chest is proof of my detestable connection to the dragon god. Even now, with that monster sealed up on Tiger Hill, the vow that puts me in this situation has yet to be broken. This torturous pain that flares up whenever and wherever has caused me a lot of misery.
还未到5更。
When my loyal guard sees my pale and exhausted expression, he gently continues to wipe away my cold sweat. Although he and I are long used to these situations, what feels really out of place is the dream that I just had. It feels so real. We just dreamt about the incident that happened 5 years ago.
我在这里陪着你。
I give a bitter laugh. Chen Feng's loyalty is unquestionable, but we both know that this burden is mine alone to bear. Chen Feng, do you think that there is a problem with the seal? Could that be why the former king and our older siblings have entered our dreams, urging us to break the sacred vow as soon as possible?
只是因为先王忌日将近。
Oopsies, I messed up. Oopsies. Anyway. Is that so?
施家咒力强大，余玉尚且能用，何况是凝结全族心血的封神阵？
Blood, sweat, and tears. Flesh and blood is more like it. Now, help us bathe and change our clothes.
少君，昨日之事让你心忧至此，还是休朝为好。
Are you saying that we are unable to handle that pesky envoy from Qi?
陈峰不敢。
Okay, so I did pronounce his name right. Change our clothes. Chen Feng assists me as I walk up to the throne. Luckily, the curtains are closed, so no one can see how helpless their king is. Prime Minister, tell us, what is on today's agenda? Prime Minister.
启禀大王，武相国今日并未上朝。
Is he ill?
武相国昨日还精神奕奕地与臣争论。
Then does Minister Bo know the reason for the Prime Minister's absence?
这个臣不知。
Other than the death anniversary of his father and brothers, Wu Zizhu has never missed a day of court. He comes in early every day to organize his reports and documents. That is why the other ministers have taken to calling him the Prime Minister of the Fourth Watch, behind his back. But now is it already near the end of the Fifth Watch? A look towards Chen Fong. He nods his head in acknowledgement and quietly takes his leave.
浩浩无都，竟然把相国都丢了，也难怪找不回敝国的小小史官了。
Whoa, bro, this is your king you are talking to.
公孙乙，你区区一个齐国使臣，怎能随意闯进吴国朝堂？
是你们大王允诺，我可在姑苏城内外寻找我国失踪的随臣。大王，难道您这吴公不在姑苏城内吗？
巧言令色。
We understand that you have your duties to carry out, and that is why we have already sent our guards to search outside the city and the surrounding villages, so please do not worry.
大王休要用这话打发我。史官明明就是在虎丘山下遭遇歹人失踪的，为何不准我等上山寻人？
虎丘乃是吴国先王陵墓。 岂能容你们这些外人造次？
Yeah, exactly, bro. Why are you trying to come up into our country like that?
既然是陵墓重地，怎么还会遇上蒙面歹徒呢？
少来咄咄逼人，礼道何存？
怕是你们吴国失礼在先。我公诚心诚意要与吴国结为兄弟之邦，才来与大王商议联姻之事。 没想到大王模棱两可，就这么一天天吊着我们。如今救人之事又推三阻四，这难道是你们吴国特有的待客之礼不成？
其使再三失礼于大王与吴国，大。
Gong Sun Yi, are you threatening us?
不敢，只是心中存疑，还望大王解惑。
We also hope that you understand that when the envoys of Qi were granted an audience, we had no knowledge of the aforementioned archival officer. And now you would slight your kingdom's allies just to look for someone as insignificant as him. We have treated you and your men as distinguished guests, fed you the same food as we eat, and have even ignored the fact that you have intruded on our court. Yet you scorn and humiliate us in front of all of our ministers and officers. How dare you, Gong Sun Yi? My bad. Before I can finish my sentence, everyone in the room has their hands on the hilt of their swords. Gong Sun Yi and his men take a few steps back in alarm. Gong Sun Yi recollects himself and bows to me with a hand-on-hand salute.
是外臣失礼了。
It is I, oh yeah, he's talking.
失踪史官乃我世教，盼大王宽宏大度，不计我情急之过。然而，联姻事关两国邦交，若不能完成我公交代给我的任务，还要让我公蒙羞，倒真。
Fine, it is only natural that your heart would be troubled when such a situations arise. Just when the ministers are about to protest in anger, I raise my hand to stop them. It is pointless to allow this argument to become personal, and for us to become the laughingstock of the kingdom. Mr. Gongsun, in admiration for your loyalty, we will let you off this one time, but next time we hope that you will be more discerning over what is more important.
多谢大王。
Actually, it is not that we are unwilling to marry your kingdom's princess, nor are we trying to make things difficult for you. It has yet to be 3 years since the former king died, and we had hoped to review the marriage proposal after his approaching death anniversary. Please rest at the guest house for the next 2 days while we personally go to Tiger Hill to find your missing officer.
既然吴王承诺，外臣回去便是。但2日后若还不能见到人，外臣就不得不亲自上山寻人了。
Men, send Mr. Gong's son back to the guest house and attend to his every need. I heave a sigh of relief as I see Gong Sun Yi leave. My body crumples involuntarily where I sit. A pair of familiar hands steady me as a calm voice drifts to my ear.
上朝前，有白衣侍童拜访相国府，之后相国便随他匆匆出城了。
In white, could it be someone from the temple on Tiger Hill?
相国确实是向城北而去。
For the envoy of Qi to cause such an uproar over such a lowly official, we are afraid that there is more than meets the eye to this simple diplomatic relationship. Chen Feng, bring us back to our chamber to change our clothes. We want to look for the Prime Minister personally.
诺。少君的中衣都已湿透，还是留在宫里休息为妥。
If our clothes are wet, then all we need to do is change into dry ones. Help us change our clothes. I spread my arms in front of the mirror to reveal a pale, thin body with hard lines and scars from years of practicing martial arts. Yet I have the soft breasts of a woman. I didn't realize there were going to be lines like this. Ara ara. But she handsome though. But she be handsome though. What the? She's so handsome. Look. Look. This body has long been ruined beyond recognition. There's an ounce of womanly features left. I mean, if you just look at the face, you would think it's a guy. I'm neither a princess nor a king. I am a monster.
吴国有了少君，才得以延续。
Is that so? Then why do I have to be humiliated like I was today and keep wasting my energy on Gong Sun Yi? Only a man can continue the family name. As long as I keep pretending to be a man, the kingdom of Ung can continue on for generations to come. And the other kingdoms will not dare trample on mine.
少君为王，不逊色于世间任何男儿。
Loyal. Really, maybe so. But people are superficial and would rather have a monster than a woman as their king.
少君何苦这么轻贱自己？
Myself. I no longer have a sense of self. Perhaps we will need to take a wife and have sons in a few months' time. Chen Feng, do you think that the sacred seal on my chest has changed a bit of its color?
臣没有细看过。
I mean, obvious. A king. Why would he look so closely right there? Forget it. Once it turns completely black, our death will be imminent.
使臣们已从各地寻来神器，积少成多，定能破除神芒。
Ah, those are fakes, just like us.
大王，
What is it?
相国派人送的信来。
Chen Feng quickly steps out of the room only to return with a tightly rolled up piece of cloth.
鸡
Read.
鸟生变，速来虎丘。
The Prime Minister has good foresight. He knew that we would go search for him.
恳请少君多保重，派陈峰去见相国吧。
This is urgent. Prepare the carriage. I wonder if it's weird for me to be reading it, but you know what? It's fine. The late coming spring. grows grasses and trees lusciously green. Overhead, the orioles sing, while winsome villagers tender shoots bring. I cannot admire this beautiful scenery before me, even though Chen Feng did prevent me from leaving the palace. I take a revitalizing pill just to be safe. The bitter taste that fills my mouth serves as a constant reminder that I need to protect this broken body. Suddenly, Chen Feng clutches the hilt of his sword. What is wrong?
守灵人的屋子那边围着是。
Let's take a look.
大王，
Has something happened over here?
武相国令我们在此看管守灵人勾践，他是杀人嫌犯。
Murder? Murder means that someone is dead. For Wu Zizhu to be so anxious, could the victim be the missing archival officer from the kingdom of Qi, or... As I push aside the soldier to get into the caretaker's hut, I hear a loud cry come from within.
是谁？
Hearing the familiar voice, my mind, foggy from the medication, suddenly becomes clear. I cannot go in as the king of
相国有令，不准和任何人交谈。
任何人？难道兵大哥你不是人吗？
他娘的！
I hear the muffled sound of a heavy force hitting soft flesh. Stop! Everything goes silent inside the house. Although I do not want to rush headfirst into things, I cannot sit idly by and do nothing, right? Until we have all the details, no one is to treat the subject so harshly.
诺。
The sound of galloping horses grows louder and louder behind me. I turn around to see a pair of fierce, majestic eyes looking right at me. A white-haired man reins in his horse and looks down at me from its back. Prime Minister. Wu Zizhu greets me casually with a hand-on-hand salute. He takes a slanted sidelong glance at the crude stone house where Gojian is being held.
都到这时候了，少君还有心顾念那只白眼狼吗？
You heard us, Gojian is still the king of Yue after all. Let's not go overboard.
他既已入吴为奴，就应该安守本分。
Wu Zizhu hardens his expression, throws me unceremoniously onto the back of his horse. Prime Minister!
陈峰，跟上。
Okay, dang, bro. You just throw me on the back of the horse. Wu Zizhu starts out in a gallop as he heads to the temple at the top of the hill. He stretches out his thick arms to hold me firmly by the waist without the slightest intention of slowing down. Although he has always done as he likes, he would never let me come to any harm. I secretly let out a sigh as I lean my body up against his. The faint, disgusting stink of rotten fish wafts by. I noticed then that Wu Zizhu's hand is stained with dried blood. Are you hurt?
这是大柱的血。
Is that the reason why you left the city at dawn today?
大柱派人通知臣，有几位黑衣覆面的贼人闯入了祭庙禁地，臣不得已先行赶往祭庙，没能及时告知少君。
Men dressed in black. Could it be?
正是巫咸一党的余孽。5年前，先王和臣将吴国各地的龙神信徒剿灭殆尽，已经很久没听到他们的消息了。如今，他们竟敢大摇大摆地侵入虎丘禁地，恐怕是为了被封印在内的龙神而来。
How did the intruders get past the guards on Tiger Hill into the Forbidden Temple? What did the head priest say?
臣还在调查，大柱他受伤了。
I feel a sharp pain in my chest as I recall the aftermath of the failed attempt to execute the dragon god. I didn't get to finish reading! The smell of blood is getting stronger as we get closer to the temple. Lying in front of the temple gates next to some trees are 2 corpses covered in hay. Chen Feng parts the hay to look underneath it. One of the men is dressed in all black and the other is just another warrior. The tattoos on the face of the man in black look almost identical to the sacred seal on my chest.
少君，
Another one of the pretty boys. An elegant and delicate looking youth steps out of the temple. It is the head priest, Zongdan. The linen that is wrapped around his wrist shows traces of blood. He notices the direction of my gaze. It is nothing. Oh, sorry. I like you. Where is the centurion who was on duty last night? We need to punish him for neglecting his duties.
那群歹人是龙神信徒，善用妖法，又是半夜侵入，也难怪守卫们没有察觉。
A group.
有3个。凌晨时，我听到庙外传来一声凄厉尖叫，怕是什么鬼魅之物，便急。没想到，看到3位黑衣人在围攻一位少年和一位武士。正是，武士当时为保护少年，已经受了致命伤。但人们听到动静就要逃跑，被我拦住了。
Even if he can use magic, the odds of winning 3 against 1, especially with hostages to consider, are not good.
少君教训的是，只是当时也没想那么多。等我击杀了其中1个，才发现他们的来头。本打算留个活口，反倒被他们钻了空子。剩下2个人带着那少年逃跑了。
大柱说那2人都受了伤。 其中1个伤了腹部，还
相国想得周到。这等血腥之事，我不想惊扰少君，才派人找来了相国。
那武士的打扮与吴国士兵的不同，臣妄自揣测，被挟持的少年便是昨日失踪的齐国史官。
I carefully examined the warrior's armor to find that it is as Wu Jiju says. I have to admit, his powers of observation and deduction are very keen. These people must be villains that Gong Zunyi spoke of. Leaving aside the reason why they would kidnap someone from Qi, if they are trying to infiltrate the Forbidden Temple, they must be attempting to undo the spell that has sealed the Dragon God.
我查看过陵墓附近，倒没有什么异状。
So far, so good, I guess. I mean, the story's Gucci. I'm just like, when are we gonna meet the other male leads? I mean, there's 3 more. No, 2 more. We've met 3 of them already.
臣会亲自去寻。
Chen Feng, we want you to help the Prime Minister.
诺。
The royal we. Prime Minister, when you get back, we would like more details on why you think the King of Yue murdered someone.
诺。
There's a clear pool behind my royal father He Liu's dedicated hall. Beside the pond is the hidden entrance to where the dragon god is sealed. Looking at the sacred seal engraved on the stone tablet surrounding the pond, I involuntarily clutched the clothes covering my chest. The beautiful and magnificent pattern depicts the endless dark abyss that has swallowed up the countless souls of Ning's kings. I too am one step away from that abyss.
剑池没有入侵痕迹。 又需少君和我协力才能开启，逆贼就算进到这里，也只能干瞪眼。
We know that you have always been a cautious person, and so we are not just worried about what happened outside the sword pond, but also over the chief culprit who was locked up inside.
查验风阵总是妥当些，还请少君赐写。
Make a small cut on my finger with a dagger and press a bloody tip against the seal engraved at the entrance. The same seal at the bottom of the pond starts to give off a faint red light. Then Zongdan casts a spell that magically drains the pond. When the seal turns completely red, the bottom of the stone pond transforms into 2 doors that slide apart to reveal a flight of stairs leading downwards. I take a deep breath and smell the faint stink of rotten fish. I'm unsure if the smell is coming from the outside of the temple or from my memory of that terrible experience that happened 5 years ago. We follow the steps down and enter a spacious hall at the bottom. There's a naturally formed cave. In the middle is an altar that was carved out of the cave itself. The walls are covered with spells that glow a faint fluorescent blue. 3,000 sacred swords that give off a cold blue light are staked into the ground around the altar in a tight formation. In the middle of the altar sits a large bronze vessel, the Ding of Virtue. I mean, we already know what the Ding is. There's a lot of... This brings to mind the nightmare from earlier on. It makes the image of a dragon having its head crushed in the square vessel seem all too real.
自从5年前德鼎封了龙神惊魂后，就一直散发着怨恨之气。加上池底阴寒，少君不能在这里耽搁太久。
Sure. We just want to take a look before we leave.
那我来为少君引路。
I approach a square ding and stroke it softly. Not only does the ding hold the resentment and hatred of the dragon god, it also holds that of my own feelings and those who've died. I walk halfway around the ding and am suddenly struck by something unusual on its surface. Uh-oh. Head priest, can the ding be damaged by outside forces?
德鼎是天子与天道结盟时所入的盟书，有神力相护，历经100年依然如新，不会轻易。
Look over here.
这是。
That's a big old crack, man. We both turn pale as we touch the crack on the ding. Although it is a very thin crack, it spans the entire belly of the ding and its edges are turning black. Your nations will crumble. Families will be torn apart. Everything you treasure will turn to ash and dust.
少君。
This is not good, head priest. The sacred seal on our chest was acting up again this morning.
难怪少君气色不佳。
If it hadn't been for that, we would not have come to the bottom of this pond. The followers of the dragon god are active right now in this crack. Head priest, is the dragon god going to break free? Zongdan clutches my cold, clammy hands tightly. An unfamiliar, terrifying stillness descends upon us.
少君莫要吓唬自己。封神阵本来就是权宜之计，靠德鼎神力维持，经年累月，德鼎肯定有所损耗。我们只要抓紧时间，找到能诛灭龙神惊魂的神器，大鼎也就能功成身退了。
For the past 5 years, the former king and us have tirelessly searched for such an artifact, but have yet to find neither hide nor hair of one.
这座德鼎，也是先王屡次伐楚，流了多少血，破了多少城，千辛万苦才从楚国国都寻来的。
Even this ding has survived much bloodshed and sacrifice. The former king faced innumerable hardships and perils to take it from the capital of Chu.
神器如果都那么容易被找到，还能叫神器吗？
Oh no! For the entirety of his life, the former king, blah blah blah. I eternally shook the crack as my father's final moments come to mind all too vividly. Okay, so that's what. Oh wait, no, whatever.
子胥，寡人的3个儿子都在太湖被龙神杀了，只剩了腾羽。
Oh, that's not something to be smiling at.
这2年来，他都借着老三夫差的名义，由你教导。如今，寡人大限将至，这神盟印也传到了。如果顺利过了继位这关，即可为腾羽寻找神器、破神盟和延续吴国血脉这2件事。姬无祖先被龙神欺骗，代代吴王都被敌以自身魂魄，真是太蠢。阿玉，只有你能继承寡人的志向，子胥会帮你排除一切障碍。记住，只有用血把我们自己的命运夺回来，才叫天之正道。必无忘仇，誓破神盟。
We will not forget. We will forget not our revenge, and we swear to break this sacred vow. No matter what, we cannot let the dragon god escape and become a blight on the people of this kingdom.
我明白，但我曾听一言：欲速，则不达。
Haste makes waste.
世家曾是吴越第一武，倾尽全族之力，才勉强封印住龙神的精魂。我们更要谨慎小心才是。
So even if we worry ourselves to death over this whole affair, it'll be all for naught.
虽然急，却到不了那个地步。
Zongdan raises his eyebrows, his facial features finally relax. I don't know if he is trying to reassure me or if he is confident that everything will be well. One thing I gotta say about Zongdan though, he talks differently from how he's dressed, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't think he was gonna be so... I don't know how to... I don't know. He's nice though. We will persist in looking for a sacred artifact while we continue to rely on you to stabilize the sealing spell.
诺。不过，希望少君还答应我一件事。
What is it?
尽量少叹气，叹气呢，会将运气吹跑的。
Zongdan puts a finger to the corner of his lips as he gives me a sly smile. I can't help but nod my head. Oh, there's that sly smile, okay. I keep feeling a sharp stabbing pain in my chest and wonder if it's because of the cold that I feel from being at the bottom of the pond.
少君，大柱。
Have you found him?
臣与陈峰分头行动，山北没有发现。臣已经派人增援陈峰了。
相国，等少君坐下来再说吧。来人，给少君端碗热汤来。
少君，你们在池底耽搁了那么久。
There is a long crack on the sacred ding. We don't know if it is the doing of the dragon god's followers or if the sealing spell is wearing out.
臣以为剑池于德鼎难破，仅凭3个信徒还不足以成事。
Is the Prime Minister trying to suggest that the dragon god's followers did not come here to break the sealing spell?
我同意相国所言，破阵礼仪秘密行事，又何必绑架其人，惹出那么大的动静呢？啊，莫非绑架齐国史官？
有可能。先王当年曾捕杀信徒，捣毁龙神庙，仅存的余孽肯定对祭物。
Wouldn't it be easier to assassinate us instead?
虽然直接，却不是最有效的方式。
Wu Zizhu raises his eyes to look at me, expecting me to infer what he means by the most effective way. Well, I mean, wouldn't it be obvious it would start a war? After pondering over it for a while, the cold that the hot soup had rid me of is slowly starting to creep up from my feet. Taking someone from Qi hostage and forcing us to open the way to the sword pond would enable the dragon god to escape, which would destroy Gusu immediately.
如果胁迫不成，也可杀掉骑士，破坏齐吴联盟。齐君夫人是鲁国人，若再与晋国联合，对吴国将是个大威胁。
I mean, so I wasn't completely wrong.
好狠辣的诡计！
We want you to find the perpetrators, even if you have to dig 6 feet under to do it. The spilt blood of my father and brothers must be repaid with blood. Violent. Wu Zizhu and Zheng Dan raises their hands to make a pledge when suddenly the doors are pushed open as Chen Feng hurries in.
少君，在庙南的养和界发现余孽踪迹。
And we're still only in chapter 1. Good, we will personally go and cut off their heads.
少君
So violent.
你的身体
We are fine, but to be on the safe side, we would like to rely on you to safeguard this temple.
No.
From a quiet spring flows forth a tranquil stream. A few white cranes feed leisurely by its side, gazing at this peaceful scenery. One might not think of the bloodshed that had happened here just a night ago.
少君，看那里，
这血迹还相当新，十有八九是余孽留下的。
I can't wait for Otome games to be like, not just like this. It would be nice if we had Otome games that were like open world or something. Like the current Genshin Impact. Not even. How ingenious of them to use a stream to escape. Any trace of them would be washed away.
虎丘不大，山下又有守兵，现在还有满山的人在搜寻，躲到山林里很不明智。
Tiger Hill. Where does the crane stream lead to?
北经野河流向揽月湖，南则流入姑苏城的外河。
陈峰调查过血迹周围，余孽大概已经兵分两路。
There are many mountains around Moon Lake, so it would be easy to hide there. But the river outside of the Gusu was very busy with boats coming to and fro, so it'd be easy to escape there as well. Prime Minister Chen Feng, which direction do you think they would have most likely taken?
逆贼既然已经受伤，单打独斗反而会增加自己的风险，不如藏木于林， 混迹在普通国人中间，乘船离开姑苏。
揽月湖。
Oh, that's nice. They close their eyes if you're not hovering over it. Nice. Okay. Logically, they would be in the masses like any good assassin. But then, if they want to do the opposite of what we think they're going to do when they go to Moon Lake. Oh man. So who do I like more at the moment? Might as well go with the, The river outside of Gusu is at the foot of this hill. Even with the hostage, it would be easy for the insurgents to escape from there, since it is already noon, we are afraid.
不必担心，臣今早下令封锁山脚时，也扣住了途经虎丘的所有船只。
Good. The Prime Minister has already taken action, so we will depart immediately for the river outside of Gusu. Chen Feng, take some men south with you. Do not hesitate to kill anyone who is acting suspiciously, even if they seem to be acting as the bait.
No.
Wu Zizhu and I take a carriage down the mountain. Although it is more comfortable, it is also slower. The more I think about the situation with the archival officer, the angrier I get. Prime Minister, can't we go any faster?
臣已经派了重兵看守，龙神信徒不可能逃跑，也没机会伤人。
So the reason you are so calm right now is that you already knew that the followers of the Dragon God would appear.
同是祭祀龙神的巫祝，少君可知道巫贤和施家夫妇的区别？
We remember that they had served us for over 100 years, but Mei Jian did a lot of things in secret, such as prioritizing the Dragon God first, and the King's orders second. Towards the end, he even defied the orders of the King.
正是，当年先王妃王僚自立，以王僚为傀儡的巫贤便召集了不满之人，将他们的魂魄献给龙神，换取超凡之力。
So that is why all the followers hated the former king and made a contract with the Dragon God that was impossible to back out of.
对，余党一定会千方百计保存实力，蛰伏到可以复仇的时候。当年臣剿灭他们时，便已有这个准备了。
They hate us and we hate them. We will not forget the shame that we had to live with all these years.
少君不忘此仇，足以告慰先王。
Golly, he would be happy that you didn't forget about revenge. It feels like he's going to pat me on the head like he used to when I was a child, but with the turn of my head, everything goes back to normal.
到了，就在那里。
I turn to see where Wu Zizhu is pointing. Lined along the banks are boats of various sizes, their captains kneeling at the bow of their individual ships. Wu Zizhu follows behind me as I slowly walk by the first boat. If I wasn't used to him, I would be like the captains of these boats, trembling at the aura of his murderous intent. An old boat catches our attention. It is blackened with dirt. The captain has also prostrated himself so low that you can see a pile of dirty sails bunched up in a clump behind him. Although there is nothing special about it, something doesn't seem quite right.
里面还有其他人吗？
Wu Zizhu suddenly walks up and onto the boat. His voice is deep and his speech is slow, causing all who hear it to feel a deep sense of threat. However, the captain does not even lift his head. I suddenly realize the danger and discreetly pull out my sword. While the rest of the detained captains are watching us with great interest, only this boat's captain fails to move a muscle.
答话！
The captain then leaps up abruptly. Wu Zizhu is ready for it, and with a wave of his sword, he cuts down the man. The body of the captain falls into the water. After a moment of stunned silence, all the captains who witness it suddenly go into uproar. Wu Zizhu lifts up the dirty clump of sail, and underneath it lies a hidden comatose youth. The youth is wearing simple clothes, but they are more refined than a commoner's. He has thin shoulders and a slender waist, and a face that is no larger than my palm. Rather than a delicate youth, it might be more convincing to say that he is a girl who had just turned 15. This must be the archival officer from the Kingdom of Qi. Wu Zizhu shoots me a look that tells me to stop talking. Revealing such secrets would only bring more trouble. I approach the unconscious girl and watch her breath steadily. She doesn't appear to be injured, but her hands are clutching something tightly to her chest. She is clutching a dagger under her sleeves. The guard of the dagger is covered with intricate designs of a bird with precious stones for eyes. It is very beautiful. Prime Minister, did you see that? Like, no.
这把短剑不是俗物。
I wasn't talking about that. An uncomfortable feeling washes over me. I reach out to take the inauspicious dagger away from the girl, but when I touch it, my chest.
少君，
It hurts so badly. Chapter 2. Where am I? Is this another dream? Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. This is not good. Okay. That is not cool. My chest is hurting so much. When I extend my hand over my chest, it feels as if the pain were transferring into my fingertips. The pain, I'm scared. I try to cry out, only to produce a hoarse hissing sound like my throat is filled with torn cotton batting. The bones that have been exposed to the air quickly blackens and crumbles to pieces. My body finally decomposes and slowly turns into dust that is carried away by the wind. That's not pleasant.
魂灭生死，夫差，你也终于步上历代无往的后尘。
I'm not Fuchai, I'm Tengyu.
你是叛王者，不过可惜啊，凡人是不可能更改什么。
Don't trust. That font, though. In despair, I hung my broken body tightly. If I cry now, would tears or blood or my eyeballs fall out? Whoa, things just got heavenly, okay. Things just got celestial, okay. It's the jade fish. Then I hear a familiar song, and it instantly transports me back to a time from my childhood. There, my fears, pain, and despair disappear. That good music started. At the edges of my consciousness, a large pale green fish swims by as the song seems to trail behind it. I watch it swish its tail, and a certain youth almost comes to mind. In my hazy memories, he is happily singing the all too familiar children's song. I stare at him quietly, fearing that my memory of him will disappear if I interrupt him. Why are the years of one's childhood shorter than those of a beautiful dream? The youth gives me a cheerful smile. He says, "Don't be afraid." Oh, he just ended my angelic music. Okay. My throat is dry and my eyes are as sore as the feeling begins to return to my fingertips. It seems like my nightmare is over. The lights outside are burning bright and it appears that night has fallen upon us.
少君醒了。
Where am I? Chen Feng holds me up by my shoulders and a wet cloth falls from my forehead.
相国说，少君在河边昏倒后就发起了烧，所以他将您和那名齐国史官都带到了祭庙别院。
Did you manage to capture the other rebel?
在蓝月湖边的一处山洞外找到了，不过他打算鱼死网破，已被陈封斩杀。
Good. As long as you return to us unharmed, then all is well. I need to go and see that officer from Qi. Give me my change of clothes.
No.
Understood. It is strange that you're not stopping me.
怕少君不喜。
Are you afraid of displeasing me? The last time you made me so angry was when you finished all the treats given to me by the kingdom of Yue. Even after doing that, your expression remained so impassive.
陈封得为少君试毒。
You do not have to eat all of them just to test them for poison.
每块点心都不一样，无法区分。
Oh, how noble of you, and how petty of me.
越国点心挺好吃的。
Hey.
少君，我为您系上鱼玉吧。
It is only then that I notice I've been clutching onto the jade fish this whole time. I hand it over to the Chen Feng with a sigh. I had another nightmare just now. It was a good thing that I also have this jade amulet.
要是遗光还在就更好了，他肯定能彻底驱走那些噩梦，不让少君为病痛所苦。
Yi Guang. He's the one with the white hair from the title screen. While Chen Feng fastens the jade amulet to my belt, he suddenly stills his hands and a hint of vexation falls over his usually calm demeanor. Yes, how nice it would be if Yi Guang were here. My heart aches as a thought as I change the subject. Aren't I alive and well right now?
都是陈封无能，连替您受苦都做不到。
Thank you. The fact that you're willing to shoulder my burdens has made me very happy. After all, if you were not here, there would be no one else to whom I could complain.
少君，
But please try to hold your appetite a little bit more next time. At the very least, leave me half a bite of the treats to try.
诺。
I burst out laughing when I hear him reply in such a serious manner, and the pain in my chest lessens a little. However, speaking of the treats from the kingdom of Yue, I hesitate a little before asking, do you know how the king of Yue is faring?
听说还关在守灵人小屋。
少君，相国说齐国公孙乙现在后于正厅，少君醒来就请整理好衣冠，马上过去。
Gong Sunyi, why is he here? Chen Feng shoots me a look that tells me that he has no idea what this could be about either. I quickly put on my headwear and rush out of the room. Just as I open the doors, I quietly whisper some instructions to Chen Feng. Go to the hut by the mausoleum and keep an eye on the guards. Make sure they don't make things difficult for Gojiang.
No.
吴相国，你让士兵将我们挟持至此。
先生带护卫深夜潜入吴国先王祭庙陵墓，我倒想知道。
明知故问，我们在驿馆等了1天1夜了，不但没有任何消息。
We agreed on 2 days. Upon hearing my voice, Gong Junyi and Wu Jizhu both stop arguing and greet me with a bow.
既然期限未到，先生何必又做出此等失礼之事？
Gong Zunyi's face turns red and then pales. If this person is so reckless and impatient that he would place himself in such a precarious position as to give Wu Jizhu and I the advantage, then we have no reason to suspect he has a hidden agenda. Prime Minister, we believe you are being too harsh. After all, this is family friend that we are talking about. Gong Zongyi has just worried himself into a frenzy.
臣向先生赔不是，不过先生连1天都等不及，这种关心程度，也实在异于常人啊。
公事随臣，私事世交，岂能不急？
Are you sure?
大王此话何意？
You barged into our court, and yet we defended you from your own ministers, and even promised to find your friend within 2 days. We did all these things because we admire your loyalty to your friend and to your king. However, as soon as our backs are turned, you tried sneaking to the forbidden temple. Have you no regard for us?
大王，这是在藐视君威啊！
外臣绝无此意。
Bruh, we literally told you we find this person. We did, by the way. And you're just like, hey, I didn't mean to. Like, bruh. Enough. It is clear that you, Gong Zongyi, are mocking us. We will be writing a letter to your king, and you can forget about saving your lowly officer. When he hears how serious my tone of voice is and sees my stern expression, Gong Zongyi prostrates himself on the ground with a loud thud. His voice quivers as he speaks.
求大王务必救回齐军暧昧，少将。
What? That child is our...
女公子听说要嫁到吴国，便吵着要见吴王一面。齐军向来宠溺小妹，哪经得住他软磨硬泡？同意，没想到。
This is ridiculous.
大王，外臣真的不是故意激怒您。如果不能带女公子安全返回齐国的话，外臣罪该万死啊！
Fine, since Zhao Jiang is our bride-to-be, how can we stand by and do nothing? Rest assured, we shall do our best to find her.
歹徒只是将人挟持，必定有所求。女公子性命应该无忧。齐国使团在异国他乡行事也不方便，不如安心交给我们秘密查访。
相国所言不无道理，但那毕竟是女公子。
Although we cannot guarantee that we will find the princess immediately, we will send someone to investigate this matter right away, and we'll give you an update in 2 days.
我就算掘地3尺，也会将女公子平安带回来的。
My thing is, I thought we found her. Who was that young lady that had the blade? I thought that was the princess. Like, I was pretty sure that was the princess.
天也快亮了，我这就备车将先生送回驿馆休息。今天上午，
外臣明白，就拜托大王了。
Gong Zongyi bows deeply before turning around and walking away despondently. I don't believe he has any other option but to trust us with this matter. Still, I thought we found the princess already. After Wu Jiju sends Gong Zongyi out of the door, he turns around and pulls me into an empty room.
少君，相国。
He's so pretty.
那少女还没醒吗？
Zheng Dan frowns and shakes his head while pointing towards a soft couch. The young girl we saved yesterday is still sleeping, but her complexion looks even worse than before. Her lips have turned dark purple and she appears to be in pain. Why is she still holding on to the dagger? Don't trust. This time I'm sure it's not just me. This dagger is giving me a bad feeling. Could it be the cause of Xiao Jiang's current predicament?
少君别动。
Oh dang. Again? A black shadow pounces out of the blade as Wu Jiju pulls me behind him in the blink of an eye. The horrid thing is like a mist, but gives off the smell of dead bodies with a shocking speed, and before we can react, it closes the distance between us with a whoosh. What's in the blade? Is it a demonic blade or something? Just when we are about to be swallowed up by the black mist, it is suddenly as if hitting an invisible wall that disappears. I can't read. Wu Jiju and Zhang Dan are both wearing serious expressions. I guess what just happened was not my imagination. I hope so, unless we're delusional. What exactly is that dagger?
恐怕是怨咒的媒介。这少女到现在还昏睡不醒，是因为中了咒术。
致命吗？
就像慢性毒药，钝刀杀人。少君切勿再动那把短剑，否则可能也被咒术缠上。
Didn't we like almost touch it earlier though? Is the head priest even able to break this curse?
我试过了，这咒术很是怨毒，以3重命为代价，恐怕连施法者都天命了，凭我一人无法相敌。
I mean, we already killed one of them, and there's 2 more, right? Well, no, one of them was killed by the guard, I believe, right? Why are they casting such malicious curse on innocent people? Worried, I look at Zhao Jiang. This young girl is going to die in her prime simply because she was curious about her husband-to-be. Head priest, her expression seems to have become peaceful. Okay, so she is the princess. She is the princess. They're just not telling the peeps because they're like, oh, we don't want to tell them that the princess is dying.
好像有什么力量驱散了邪气。莫非是刚刚保护少君的微光？
Light. I glance at the jade fish on my waist to see it looking the same as usual. If anything can protect us from this curse, it would be this jade amulet.
少君，那玉佩可否借我一看？
Yes. Once Zhang Dan has his hands on the jade fish, his face lights up with understanding.
难怪，这块玉里有很强大的巫力，肯定是他驱散了邪气。
Before he died, this was given to us by our childhood friend, Shi Yiguang. It had saved our life once before during the sacrificial ritual. But Yi Guang is on the poster. Where's Yi Guang?
施遗光啊，就是施家大主夫妇的那个天才儿子啊！我在成为郑家家主之前，可是常听到他的大名呢。
When I hear him talk about Yi Guang so casually, I grow speechless and can only nod my head. He must have... I really want to meet Yi Guang already.
余玉既然能驱逐邪气，那么大柱可用它解除这个咒术吧？
不能。刚刚我稍微一试，他将我的巫力弹回来了。器物有灵，想来应该是玉灵认了施遗光为主。 所以遵从他的命令，保护少君。
Okay, so Yi Guang is a simp, understandable. But isn't Yi Guang?
可见施遗光保护少君的意愿非常强烈啊。可惜，没主人驱使，也只能被动起作用了。幸好他还有一定威力。
Like what happened just now?
没错，可不是把相国也护住了。狱中的纯净巫力可驱邪。如果少君待在这少女的身边，大概她被邪气侵蚀的时间也会变缓一些。
难不成少君还得时时刻刻带着这孩子吗？
那倒是不必。没有解咒之法，也就只有早死和晚死几天的区别而已。
I don't know if it's Zhang Dan's talk about death or my memory of Yi Guang that caused me to feel something evil spark in my heart. If only we had succeeded in killing the dragon god 5 years ago, the head priest and priestess would still be of the Shi clan, and not only would we be able to save Zhao Jiang, we would also have nothing to worry about, would we not?
少君，
I'm suddenly made aware of what I just said. I'm about to apologize to Zhang Dan when he smiles and waves his hand dismissively.
少君说得对，施家本就是吴越第一武，就连楚国的巫隐也自叹不如。少主遗光的才能，更是令巫者艳羡，就连我也未能免俗，有些嫉妒他呢。
Wasn't he nice?
不过，斯人已逝，我们也只能基于现实想办法了。我去准备些补气的药，至少让他的气血足够扛到。
少君，
We understand. It is our fault after all.
臣以为我们是得基于现实想办法了。少将随时会死，我们得对公孙先生。
Even if those villains were still alive and had been handed over to the King of Qi, do you really think he would believe our incredulous explanation?
即使相信了，反倒是握住了吴国的软肋，断不可行。
We have heard that the King of Qi is a willful person, and when he went to the Kingdom of Lu to take back his queen, he invaded many of its cities. If his precious sister were to die in we do not believe he would break only our alliance.
还有一个办法。
Putting my troubled thoughts aside, I raise my downcast eyes and look at Wu Zizhu. With his hands together, he throws out his arms and bends at the waist in a deep vow.
臣请少君诛杀越王勾践。
Bruh. He didn't do anything. Prime Minister, do you know what you are asking?
少君不是想知道臣为何要扣押虎丘看守严密，封神阵之事也只有极少数人知道。
This is purely the Prime Minister's speculation. Gojian is entirely ignorant of the Dragon God and matters regarding the seal.
这同样是少君的妄断。假如两者勾结，难道龙神信徒不会告诉勾践吗？少君不妨再想想，如果龙神信徒得逞，谁能获利最多？
Wu Zizhu raises his head and shoots me a look. It feels like he wants to extract a logical explanation from my confusion and to chain up any excuse I may have for pardoning Gojiang. When the kingdom of Yue lost the war, he offered to guard the former king's mausoleum as part of his reparation, and so we agreed to pardon. Would our honor not be in question if we went back on our word now?
少君宽恕勾践杀父之仇，已是天下罕见的美德了。如今勾践图谋不轨，害死女公子。
No, that's not logical. The kidnappers may not have known that the victim was the Princess of Qi, and even if they wanted to start a war or even threaten us, did they really need to use such a dark spell?
这些问题肯定需要详细调查，但齐军和世人需要知道的真相，只要合乎情理就够。少君不也说，即使抓住龙神信徒，也会被当成笑话？既要赶紧送少将回国，又要阻止齐军发兵，时间紧迫，我们只能先治罪，再查证了。
Then wouldn't Gojian be nothing more than a scapegoat? Wu Zizhu pauses. When he finally speaks again, his voice holds an unutterable sadness in it.
先王逝去还不满3年，血都没冷透。少君当真觉得勾践无辜吗？
We do not know.
豺狼卧于榻下，
He
岂
is a
能安眠？
ravenous. Oh,
从咬
dang.
死你父王的那一刻起，他就永远惦记着。少君若要贯彻先王遗志，少君不说话，是另有良策了吗？
But
那少君还犹豫什么？
I'm hesitating because I don't want to just slaughter an innocent person.
杀父之仇，诸神破盟，连其北上，哪桩不是身为吴王必须做的大事？
Okay, I don't like peer pressure. Excuse you? Peer pressure?
既然不忘，就不可以以权谋私。你放弃私仇，我佩服你心胸宽广。 你不愿成亲，我体谅你志向远大。但是你要对着一头恶狼心软，就是善恶不分，是非不辨。少君，勿重私情，以国为重啊。
So I should lose my humanity. That's nice. When have we not placed the good of the kingdom before everything else? Even our life is not as important as the good of the kingdom. I punched the pillar next to me with all my might. Although others may think that I'm doing this out of personal feelings for a certain someone, the truth is I don't want history to repeat itself. A moment of weakness may lead to a lifetime of regret. The seal on the dragon god seems to be weakening. I don't know how much longer I have to live. However, the torment of my own guilt is as bad as the suffering the sacred seal gives to me. This matter involves 3 countries. While we will take your words into consideration, we must deliberate over the matter before coming to a decision. Bujiju wants to continue the discussion, but I do not wish to argue with him any further, so I turn around and refuse to look back. I step out from the royal villa with my head still spinning from our discussion. Those criticisms were like large hailstones that kept crashing unceasingly into my chest, until I found myself breathless. I clutched my jade fish amulet. Since this pain is not caused by the sacred seal, it only serves to comfort me. I wonder if my friend ever regretted giving this to me. Isn't kith and kin more important than the kingdom of Ung? I laugh at myself. Giving a choice between their kingdom and family, the Shi clan chose their kingdom. However, I was only left with a kingdom and nothing else.
少君，
Chen Feng, why are you not at the caretaker's hut?
我正要向少君禀报。
What?
相国要审问勾践，命守卫打开内室房门，没想到勾践已经拆下窗户逃跑了。
Do you know where he is?
不知，不过在他脱身的窗台上钉了一根布条。
Chen Feng, we want you to hide near the Crane Stream. Make sure that you are able to see us talking to Guojian, and that no one else can listen in on our conversation.
如果勾践要对少君不利，
He will not. But even if he does, we still have you.
No.
So is Guojian one of the male leads? The 3 years he has lived as a slave here have not diminished any of his noble bearings. Without me realizing it, my hurried pace slows down. Our 3 years of friendship was established in this dreamlike and sandy place. I had hoped that I would not have to face the harsh reality before this land collapses. To personally destroy our sandy dreamland is one thing, but to have the tides destroyed is yet another. Honestly speaking, what happened that year was an accident that should never have happened. Adieu. Oh, okay, so it is him, it is him. The youth turns towards me with a smile.
阿玉，你果然见到布条了。
Why? Why did you call me here?
3年前在这养鹤涧，你去捡掉到水里的玉佩，我却以为你要寻死，强行把你拽上了岸，结果被你揍了一顿。哈，我们相识的场景真是很尴尬。
Yes.
虽然你是我唯一的知心好友，今天我却不得不让你再尴尬一回了。
Huh? Suddenly, Guojian's expression turns serious. He faces me, gets down on his knees, his hands and knees, and then bows.
罪臣勾践失礼于大王，求大王救我。
Oh dang. You. How long have you known that I am the king of...
你既不是寂渺的巫祝，又带着虎贲氏自由出入附近。我不是傻子，怎么会看不出来你身份特殊？昨天你2次交代士兵宽待我，已经证实了我的猜测。 所以我才冒死逃出来找你声明，我是清白的。
Dang, so this man already knows. If you were truly innocent, you needn't have come to me, to us, to explain yourself.
武相国对我猜忌之深，要先斩后奏。我恐怕等不到更好的伸冤机会了。大王尽可以派人调查，勾践从未谋害过妻室。
Whether you are innocent or not isn't important. The princess is already under a curse and will die very soon. What's worse is that she is the king of Chi's most beloved younger sister.
小妹，我明白了。所以，越王勾践便是最合适抵罪的人。
I look at him silently. It is as Wu Zizhu said. If I can think of it, others have thought of it too, hence is the most logical answer. Gojian suddenly raises his head. He wears a determined expression, his eyes burning bright like searing flames. I am shocked to see the look in his eyes.
越国有神医，可救齐国女公子。之前听闻大王身体欠佳，我派人四处寻访名医，希望能表我忠心。
Oh wait, is it Yi Guang? That's the doctor. Maybe.
他不仅医术了得。
You should not tell such lies, even if it means that your life might be spared.
大王自然不肯轻信于我，神医难求，怎可能像这般唾手可得？大王不知的却是。
Okay, I'm guessing it's Yi Guang. Even if you are telling the truth, we are curious as to why you would go to such lengths to find him.
我。
Do not tell us that you are sincere about healing us. Even many ministers would not put that much effort into finding us a healer. Not to mention, he hadn't even confirmed that Yu was the king of
好吧，我也不瞒大王，寻医表忠心，确实只是漂亮的场面。我留得这条命，全凭大王恩典。若还不懂得讨大王欢心，怕是朝不保夕啊。
Gojiang, we have to ask ourselves, when have we ever mistreated you? Even guarding the former king's mausoleum was your request.
罪臣当然知道，大王，阿玉待我甚好。可是，那又如何呢？如今，我还是得跪在大王面前。恳求您放我一条生路。难道我不该费尽心思讨好你？难道我不该抓住每一个机会，为自己的命多求一份保障
？This is kind of awkward.
难道我不该献上稀世奇人，好叫大王记住我、赏识我？难道寻常医者能够令人眼前一亮吗？阿玉。
Gojiang gives a bitter chuckle that sounds as if there's a lot of unspeakable emotions mixed in with it. So much so that I cannot meet his gaze. Okay, that kind of sucks. How am I supposed to answer him? Although I cannot tell if he is telling me the truth, Gojiang has been a slave these past few years and has tasted more than his fair share of hardships and bitterness. How can I not understand his overly cautious attitude? Don't I also live through this same dilemma every day? While Yu can trust her friends without hesitation, Fuchai cannot.
也许大王还不信我，但人为刀俎，我为鱼肉。我就算诓骗大王活过了今天，还能骗到明天后天吗？说句冒犯的话，救活了女公子，各方皆大欢喜。就不。
But the longer we wait, the worse the consequences will be.
现在从水路出发，2日内绝对可以到达。如果神医说救不了，可当场斩下罪臣头颅。阿玉，你是吴君，所以为了吴国让我戴罪，我不怨你。只是明明有可以救回女公子的法子，却弃之不用。阿玉，追兵来了！女公子和我的命，齐国、吴国的邦交。阿玉，赌赌看吧！
大胆勾践，竟敢逃狱！
Damn, I'm being held under duress apparently. When I see Wu Zizhu draw his sword, I know that this is the best opportunity for us to kill Gojiang. As for the crime, dead men tell no lie, so we can spin it however we please. But... oh damn, we can make this decision right now to kill him. But he's a romantic option. I don't want to kill him yet. No, I don't want to kill him. Stop.
少君!
The king of Yue did nothing wrong. He was only telling us of a way to save Xiao Jiang. Xiao Jiang.
少君离开后，他的病况又恶化了，恐怕今日就得。
我是清白的，相国不分青红皂白便要杀我，公理何在？
要计较公理道义，3年
勾践与越国倾徒性命担保，我不仅没有半分不忠，还能救回女公子性命。
何须浪费他人性命？
Oh gosh, it's getting tense.
现在，你就可对吴国尽忠。
Damn, he's like, die, then you can prove your loyalty. Dang. Wu Zizhu lets out a cold chuckle as he brandishes his sword. Gojian turns pale and yells out to me. I'm just like, dang, bro, dang. Nah, man, we ain't about that life. We ain't about killing this guy. Like, golly.
那个声音叫做骑士。
是。Okay. I think I should end it here, right? I should end it here, right? Golly, that was... oof. I should save. I'm gonna save. Wait, did I save? I can't tell if that saved. Okay, it did save. Whew. Usually I save at any like decision parts, but I was dumb and I didn't because I was just going with the flow. So yeah. Is it in the glossary? Zishi. One of the 4 beauties of ancient China. Yeah, and Yi Guang is based off of that character. So yeah, it's Yi Guang. There's no mistake in that, right? So, yes, return to title screen. There they are. See, look, he looks so good in that outfit. I wonder when he's gonna get his new clothes. Like, now all we're missing is Yi Guang. Okay. This was good. And I also like the head priest. The prime minister, man. He has no chill. But I'm definitely interested in the King of Yue and the priest. I'm not really into my guard. He's kind of boring. But I definitely do want to see Yi Guang. So hopefully Yi Guang is interesting. And wait, no, is Yi Guang dead? And then this is literally just a different character? I thought, you know what? I don't know. I could be like totally tripping. I may have not read the summary correctly, but I thought Yi Guang was alive. Probably not. I probably am tripping. But anyway, I'm excited to see this character. But I do like his look and it's just that I don't know if he's taller or shorter than the main character. But yeah. Yeah. So thank you for watching. So this is the end of the prologue and first 2 chapters, right? Yeah, the first 2 chapters of My Vow to My Liege. That was fun. I haven't really played a Chinese Otome game, so I was excited to play it. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day, alternate dimension night. Yeah. So I'm gonna end the stream like The poor person I am. I need to try to do longer streams, but I don't know how to. So, thank you. Have a...